Okay, we're going to do a measurement on a Peterbilt Flex Air, and it's the same type of suspension as your Kenworth AG380. We're going to measure your BF and your BB to the ground, and then we're going to come measure your N, which is the front of the beam, to the ground. BF, U-bolts go through in the center to the ground, and your back of the BF, or the BB, to the ground. And then your N to the ground. Okay, now we're going to measure your K and your J, which is your lowest part of the can, to the ground, and then your K from the back of the part of your can to the center line of the axle. And then your J, lowest part to the ground. Next on the measurements is going to be your D, which is the thickness of the nut, your E, the leftover threads from the bottom of the nut, and then your X, the bolt diameter. Height of the nut for the D, and then your E, the leftover threads, what's left, and then the thickness. A couple different ways to do the thickness is you can use your calipers and measure it that way. You can use a tape measure in measuring the thickness of the bolt. Also need to identify the thread type. The most accurate way is to grab your thread gauge and measure the thickness or the depth of the threads, and or also grab your standard thread gauge to measure that one to see if it is standard or metric. There is a tip for most of these have been metrics, so please measure exactly so we get you the right coupling nuts. Alright, next measurement we have is the U-bolts, which is your Y front to back, and your Z side to side for the U-bolts. Just a tip on measuring U-bolts, you can go from the middle of the U-bolt to the middle of the U-bolt, or you can go outside to the inside, and vice versa to get the right measurement of width of U-bolts. So outside to the inside, and then outside to the inside.